Good morning, Vietnam. Remember that movie, Robin Williams? Good morning, everyone. Just like Vietnam out here sometimes. Uh, as far as business warfare. But anyway, good morning. Checking my camera. Okay, I think we're good. Adjust it a little bit. Minor adjustment. Oh, to adjust it. Ah. All right. Hope I'm making y'all seasick out there. All right. There's like a black stripe on there. I don't know if that's on my end or y'all see that too. Oh, it's the okay. Hang on. There we go. It's the stand. All right. So, good morning. Good morning. Hope you got your speed trap ahead. Beverage of choice. Mine is water. Love these quick little shot. No caps to flip or nothing. Is boom. Efficient. Efficient hydration. So let's go over the rules of the live broadcast. So people won't be blowing up my comment section. I am driving, so I will not be looking at the camera. So excuse the lack of eye contact with you. Also, I'm in the vehicle. I am driving, so this thing may be a little shaky. I'm still working on getting some stuff to stabilize it a little bit better. And so you still leave questions and comments. Once I do stop, I'll look at the comment section and then I will answer. If you're watching this broadcast on replay after it was live, still feel free. Still feel free to leave questions and comments, and I'll answer them as I can. So, other thing too is I always gotta apologize for my GPS because it does talk during the broadcast, so you'll hear it here and there. Yes, I can mute it, but I usually miss my stops when I do that. So, yeah, it's kind of like that walking and chew gum at the same time type of deal. Yeah, it's I need to hear it. Uh, anyway, because I don't look at that either. Really, I listen to it and watch the road. So that out the way, and let's get the disclaimer out the way. This live broadcast is of my own motivation, right? My own channel. So the broadcast, anything I say in the broadcast, any views, does not reflect any of our sponsors that are mentioned on the channel. So I am independent of all that, even though I do speak of them. So you know. Anyway, good morning, everyone. Today's subject, as you can see in the subject line, is customer service. So we're going to get into that in a second. I'm going to talk about customer service as far as customer behavior and technician behavior. And so this channel kind of crosses a lot of aisles, such as just servicing altogether. So if you're an electrician, a plumber, you go into, particularly if you go into homes, I think if the customer comes to you, like if you got a mechanic shop or something, that could be a bit different. Because they're in your house at that point. But when you go to someone else's house, the decorum is just a little different on behavior and who you are, right? So yeah, handyman. I think this covers all kind of subjects, professions, servicers. So if you're paid to enter somebody's home, this video is for you. I'm trying to hold this thing so maybe it won't shake as much. So welcome. Good morning. Don't forget to like, subscribe. This helps the YouTube algorithm when it comes to it being in their search engine and YouTube advertising our channel to reach more people. So the likes, the likes and the subscriptions help show YouTube that hey, people are signing up, people like this information. Let's get it to more people, right? So that's how that works. So let's get into customer service. Oh, so I'm sorry. Let me do a little bit quick background too for newbies that may be on the channel and listening. So my background is appliance repair. My channel, if you subscribe, you can see all my videos. And my channel is do-it-yourself repairs, and also just sharing information with other technicians on little tips and tricks on repairing washers and dryers. Right. So a lot of my videos show you how to repair, but for the most part, I try to focus on the tricks. Right. So case in point, was brought up yesterday about one of my videos showing fixing a dryer with a hammer. Right? Excuse me. Fixing a dryer with a hammer. So, especially if you have a dryer with a pull down door, and this is very common for Kenmore dryers. Typically, the dryers with the panel underneath, access panel underneath, the older ones, and the dryer just pulls down from the front. And sometimes they had an issue where you close it and you run it, and the close actually hit the door and it pops open. And people would change out parts, change out springs, change out the latch, and all that stuff. And what the real issue was, and this is how I think, I'm like, okay, how did it get this way, right? Is it wear and tear, or is it um, customer treatment? So it was mainly, so for those dryers, the door, you have a tendency to lean on them. You might put a basket of clothes on them when the doors come flat down because it looks like a table. Human nature. People will put things on any flat surface. If there's a flat surface in your house, something's been put on it. I don't care what it is. Even the top of the refrigerator, you can't even reach it. There's stuff up there in it. I know you got stuff on top of your refrigerator, right? Even though you can't reach it, I know you got stuff up there because it's a flat surface. It's human nature. So now that door comes down, flat surface, you're either gonna lean on that thing, you're gonna put clothes on it, whatever. And what that does is it kind of bends the latch, not the latch, I don't know what to call it, but the hinge. It bends the hinge, creating it to, and that hinge kind of rests on the frame. So anyway, so it bends the hinge, bends the frame. So the fix was with a hammer, hit it with a hammer to bend it back, and it works. So little tips and tricks like that, right? Stuff like that you can't learn in trade school. You learn it from other people, right? And YouTube has been the best vehicle for that. So anyway, fast forward. Now I'm deep in the appliance business. Uh, I'm a regional sales manager for Encompass. Encompass and Simply Parts, right? And so Encompass is a part supplier. Very unique though, not just a supply house, right? They're a supply chain solution is the primary business. Encompass has been around for 60 years, and basically warehousing the parts for the manufacturers. And hey, while they're there, might as well sell them, right? So they're very unique in that fashion. And so this allows me to get even deeper into the appliance industry, um, because I drive around all day talking to appliance servicers, appliance businesses. I'm in the back of the house, in the back of the shop.
There's an object on road ahead.
So I'm in the back of the shop, seeing it behind the scenes, seeing how things operate. So I'm sharing that with you guys. So if that is of use to you, like, subscribe, and follow these live chats, right? So today's route, I'm in Georgia still, and I'm going about an hour away from my home. So we got a bit of an early start. I like to try to get to my first uh, servicer around 10 o'clock because I feel like that's when people kind of straggle in. Nobody really gets in at 9, because it's, so people kind of straggle in around 10, which works out perfect because I sit in traffic and, by the time I get there. So we got some time. We got about an hour. Not sure I'll be talking the whole hour, but we got about an hour. So let's talk about customer service. Trying to wait for a few more people to join in. This glare might be bad, huh? Give me some feedback too if on the video quality. This glare might be bad. So as we wait for more people to kind of join in, let's talk about. Yeah, that glare is fine. Horrible. Try to change this a little bit. Nope. Hold on. All right. Let's get going. Hopefully, get better. Let me know if that glare bothers you guys. So I'm trying to wait for a few more people to log in before we get into the subject matter. So y'all hang in there. So in meanwhile, let's talk about a few other things, right? So let's talk about. Let's recap my day from yesterday. Yesterday, awesome day as a rep. Awesome day. I feel like a hero yesterday. So went to one servicer, and they're a major. Like at one point, there was a major deal in Georgia, and they kind of sold the business off and kept a couple stores for themselves. And this was a major store. Yeah, so let me pop in here and see what's going on because I felt like I was thinking like, oh, this is probably one of the like sister stores, not the primary one. And usually you don't really speak to the major influencer or the owner usually isn't there. So I was kind of hesitant to go in there. So let me stop in there. So I stopped in there and helped them find a part that they couldn't find. So that was some hero work there. Helped them find a part they couldn't find. Uh, Also, yeah, that glare is bad. If I set up, nope. I'm in the right lane. So anyway, I helped them find a part they couldn't find. I helped them uh, add on a delivery guy. I knew a guy that did deliveries. They looked for another delivery guy, so I gave them a person that they could use. So that was helpful for the business. And I feel it's important to not going to somewhere. I don't want this be sitting there begging and say, hey, how come you're not buying parts from us? I feel like I want to be useful in the fact of, hey, I want to help. I want my business to help your business, right? Or I want what I know to help you. Kind of the same motivation for my channel, right? Excuse the glare, guys. I swear I'll go away. It's a lot of trucks that's help blocking it. um, and so, yeah, excuse the squirrel moment. I have squirrel moments sometimes. And so, helped them that way. And I helped them find a part that they couldn't find. It was a drawer for a freezer. And we all know them drawers can be a pain in the neck, especially if you do scratch and dents because a lot of stuff is missing. And so I helped them find a drawer, helped them find a driver. We talked business. I was trying to encourage them to be a part seller. There's so many more benefits outside of actually selling the part, as far as getting people in the door. So that'll be another video on my live chat or another talk discussion. So hang in there, guys. We'll get into the main subject about customer service when we get a few more people on the channel here, and I want to go. So, in the meanwhile, I'm doing a recap of my day from yesterday. So yeah, I went there. I felt like a hero, man. So I helped them find a part they couldn't find for a refrigerator, like right. And I mean, it's like a $2,000 refrigerator that needed like a $50 drawer, and you can't sell it with a missing drawer. It's hard. It's hard to sell them with missing drawers. It's the smallest things will hold. $50 will hold up $2,000. That is how it works with flipping appliances. $50 will hold up $2,000. And so I helped them find a part. I helped them find a driver. I'm gonna repeat myself a little bit because we got people logging in. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe button. Helped them find a driver because they were short on drivers. And the fact they didn't have a driver, they had one guy, I guess, they use, and he's only available like twice a week. So now they can only do deliveries twice a week. and that will definitely hurt your business. So let's have a pause and talk about that real quick too. If you don't have the people, like especially a driver, and you're a scratch and dent, that could be you could lose so much revenue because a lot of times I know from my business when people wanted an appliance, they needed it yesterday, and let alone say, oh, we'll get it to you in 3 days. That's no bueno, right? Some people don't mind. Some people are patient. Okay, cool, great. But especially when it comes to a refrigerator, if you're out buying a refrigerator, unless you're like doing a remodel or something like that, it's usually like a crisis. Like now, refrigerators, ovens, those are usually crisis buys. Like we need one now. Ours is down, or they've been, they need to get theirs repaired, and the repair didn't go well, and they might be dealing with a repair for the last 2 weeks that didn't go the way they wanted to, and now they decided to replace. Um, so you have that factor too. So anyway, back on subject. So they were very happy. I was able to, uh, give them a driver, find a part.
There's a speed trap ahead.
And talk a little business with them as far as how to help increase their business and grow their business. And I walk out there, I felt like it was theme music, man. It was so thankful, and it was like I will never forget your name. I felt like there was theme music following me out the door, like, yeah, I'm the man, So I just love talking to people, man. Just being able to help someone with their business, and so being with Encompass, that actually helps me. So I might be getting bad. So y'all give me some feedback on the signal and stuff. So anyway, kind of doing mobile lives. That's kind of what happens. So that was one stop. Another stop helped the guy find a part that he couldn't find. So I think I'm pretty good. I'm pretty resourceful and good at that. So I was a hero there. Hero work, man.
There's a speed trap ahead.
A business-to-business sales rep is hero work. And being an appliance servicer, that's hero work, right? When you're done with the job, people are like, "Oh, that is the man. Hook me up." So yeah, that was yesterday was very, very good. Also, I found a servicer that is going to make a really, really good interview. So yeah, as you know, my next step on my channel is to hold interviews with appliance servicers. So we're going to do that, and so I got one that's coming up this weekend. Uh-oh, my connection is bad. Sorry. Signal strength. All right, so apologize for the delays in signal strength. Using Wi-Fi and my cell phone tether, and trying to go live on the road may not be a good idea. Well, let's try it out, right? Because we got a glare going on, we got bad signal strength. So anyway, let's just get right into the subject matter. So the subject matter is customer service. So I'm gonna repeat myself a few times just in case my signal blips in and out. So bear with me. Let's talk about customer service. As a technician, customer service does not start where you think it starts, right? So when you say customer service, what are your first thoughts? Usually your first thoughts are, oh, the customer is always right. Oh, be nice to the customer. Your definition of being nice to them. Try to show how much of a nice guy you are, right? So these are all the wrong answers. So these are all the wrong answers to customer service. But they are probably most of our natural first thoughts. Is the customer always right? No, but the customer is the customer. I'll repeat that. Is the customer always right? No, they are not, but the customer is the customer. All right, so let's unpack that one. customer, so let's say you do a repair on a dryer and you fix the heating element, right? You get there and the heating element is bad. So you replace the heating element. You charge whatever. Great, everything's good. Customer calls you the next day, say, hey, the dryer's not coming on. So, okay, you get there and you find out the door switch is broke. So that's a whole new charge, right? Customer says, you tell the customer, hey, the door switch, now your door switch is broke. So that's a totally different part. And you charge full price for that, right? And the customer throws a tantrum saying, well, I thought you fixed that. I just paid you, right? In this case, the customer is wrong for being angry, but the customer is the customer. And what's the real issue? Probably because they didn't want to pay twice, right? So the customer is wrong, but the customer is the customer. So what do? Hey, just charge, for the part and then like half your labor, right? To make them happy because you were just there. And from their perspective, they're not technicians. They don't know. Customers don't understand that. They don't know that. So it's just the luck of the draw, right? But the customer is the customer. Even if the customer is willing to pay full price and be understanding, I would still give them a discount because they're being nice. Maybe in the back of their mind, they're thinking like, "Oh man, I'm not calling this guy back again," Or they talk to their spouse or their significant other, and they're like, maybe you're not there to represent yourself, so they might be bashing you. So that's a good case of the customer is not always right, but the customer is the customer. So you have to compromise and consider a non-technical person's mentality, a non-technician mentality as far as how it looks, right? So customer service. That's why it's not always what it seems. Um, Also, service starts with your presentation. What do I mean by that? If you show up to a customer house with a white t-shirt on and cargo pants and a screwdriver in your hand, you're probably gonna get some pushback, right? You are probably gonna get some pushback. This glare is nasty. So hang on, I'm trying to see if I can put something up. I'm trying to put something up to protect from the glare. There you go. And Encompass packet here. Boom. Yeah, that helps. So the customer is the customer. Presentation was that. So on presentation, that can work against you. No matter how you think, like, oh, I'm here to fix a washer, I got to dress up, right? Not saying you should put on a suit to fix a wash machine, but presentation. Case in point, let me get another bit of an example on the mentality of presentation. So I had a eBay business, excuse me. I was selling used parts. And so I had the mentality of, like, one of the things that's hard about eBay is mailing out stuff. It's such a huge expense and thing that people don't think about. Having to go to the post office or have them pick it up, and you gotta really get a routine down for it. So, control board one time, and I probably, kind of found a box that that it fit in that probably wasn't the prettiest box. Probably been already like remailed like 3 or 4 times. It was beat up. And so I mailed that to the customer, and this lady threw a fit and was like, "This part doesn't work. It doesn't work." And I'm like, "Well," and so long story short, as I dove in, And speaking of her, I want to find out she didn't even install the part. And I'm like, well, what makes you think it doesn't work if it's not installed? She said because the way it was packaged, it was horrible. But there's no way it works because the way it was packaged up. It was beat up. I'm like, was there any damage to it? No. It just, so that was her perception. She probably already had some sort of misconceptions because it was a used part, right? But once she got it, the fact that it was poorly packaged in her mind it already didn't work. So when you show up to somebody's door poorly packaged, wearing a t-shirt, a tank top is really a no-no. I don't care if you got a logo on that thing or not. A tank top
In 2 miles, take exit 95A toward Augusta.
is really a no-no. So if you have a tank top, don't do deliveries. I don't do repairs. And so these people are thinking like, I don't want this person to be in my house, or they're going to question your ability. To me, the guy with a nice shirt on with a company logo probably has been doing this for a while. Probably knows what he's doing, right? What's your perception of the guy that shows up with a tank top on or like a white t-shirt and some camel fatigue pants or cargo pants, right? They're probably like, oh, I don't know. They'll start asking you questions, right? Qualifying questions. So how long have you been doing this? So just a side gig for you? They start asking you questions that align with the way they think of you, even though they're nice about it. So I'm trying to fight the glare, y'all. So professionalism starts with your attire, with what you walk out of the door in. So this looked like, the Maytag man, to be honest with you, the guy in the commercial, clothing wise. You can't change gender or race, skin complexion. But clothing wise, like the Maytag man.
Toward Augusta, Macon.
All right, so what's next? Next is how you speak. No, not how you speak. I'm not going to say that. What you speak, right? So you can have a heavy accent.
Take exit 95A.
You can be what we call kind of hood, but if you speak the no-nos, right? Politics, religion, any of those sensitive subjects, no matter how justified you feel, there's always a different side of it, a different opinion. Like for some guys, especially politics.
Keep left. Follow signs for I-285 South Augusta.
There are guys that will talk politics as if everybody feels that way, right? Okay, so now we're switching the highway, switching directions. Now the sun's in my face and not yours. Sunny day today. Probably not a good day to live stream, but we here.
Keep left.
Sorry for the shaky camera. So you've got, so no matter your politics, no matter how
continue on I-285 South for 22 miles.
much propaganda you're eating, there's going to be alternatives to it. Like there are people who are well studied in politics that may feel a different way than you do. There are people who are just headline readers, and that's the limit of their education. So then they want to speak as if they're educated, and it's just not worth. You're not there for that. You're there to fix a machine. Shut up, right? So fix the machine. Don't. And even if the country try to bait you into politics, there's easy ways to, either don't even acknowledge. Say, oh, okay, say, oh, okay, and not give feedback, or just switch the subjects altogether. Especially if they give a strong opinion about something. So you've got that. You've got uh, religion. Like I would say, like if I go in somewhere and like they had Christmas decorations up, I would say Merry Christmas. If they don't, I would say Happy Holidays. Right? Christmas is a Christian holiday. Everybody's not Christian. I am, but not everybody is. I respect other people not being that way, and it's a very, very popular holiday in America. So, happy holidays, happy New Year, whatever. And to be honest, I don't think people are offended by you saying Merry Christmas. I don't think so. I don't think that's that big of a deal. But you don't want to get into political and religion conversation. But I can get heated. I get very opinionated. Um, so that goes along the lines of professionalism. And plus, there's so many other things to talk about, right? So many things that we can relate on. Like if they're like with me, when I go talk to clients, uh, if you're from the Northeast, like I'm in Georgia, so if I find somebody from the Northeast, how better the weather is in the South is a whole hour conversation in and of itself. Not having to deal with snow, being able to drive with the windows down. Look at me, we're in a polo shirt in December. Yeah, love the South. So, but I wouldn't bash. I'm not bashing. Like they can love the North. Like I wouldn't bash it. But like, hey, the weather. But most people, are agreeable with that. Like, hey, nice weather. And so, I mean, there's so much more to talk about, right? If you talk about maybe your favorite sports team. Sometimes that's borderline too. But if you're in a house and you see a college team theme or something, like Georgia Bulldogs, something like that. And first of all, you ask, right? You say, "Hey, oh, you're a Georgia Bulldogs fan?" You'd be like, "Oh no, somebody gave me that little pennant or whatever," or they'd be like, "Yeah, I love the dogs." Then you could, okay, now you got common ground. Then you can talk about the dogs, right? The Georgia Bulldogs. So this professionalism, man, this professionalism. Some examples, life examples I've seen through people I've hired of unprofessionalism. Let's unpack that. Oh, it looks like the glare is back. Um, I knew a guy that talked consistently about how much of a good guy he was, and I'm like, for me, I don't dispute with people. Somebody wants to represent who they are to me, but the feedback you get from customers are like kind of eye opening. They're like, oh yeah, he's a nice guy. Like you get the he's nice, but that same guy had a lot of complaints from customers, um, and it's almost like it's a personality thing. It's almost as if he was trying to talk you into how much of a good guy he was. And we all know if you do that, that's not you can still be a good person, but that doesn't that raises red flags to people. They want to come to that conclusion on their own. So they have another guy that's a delivery driver, really nice guy. And the customers told me, oh man, we love that guy, man. He was awesome. People even told me like, hey, this guy is an awesome representative for your company. You know, and he didn't. And this guy didn't. He doesn't tell people how much good of a guy he is. He just being himself, respectful. Um, just family man, and just being himself. He doesn't like talk customers' ear off. He'll give suggestions and stuff like that, and just professional and just is who he is. The other guy will like talk people ear off, uh, have inappropriate conversations about politics or whatever. Um, Not good. So that I had another guy like I have a bathroom rule. So like when I hire, especially drivers, right? If you are delivering an appliance for me, excuse me, water break. If you are, and these are just my own personal rules, man. If you are working for me, number one, my number one rule: use the bathroom before you go to the client's house. Because when you're installing an appliance, dude, you're in and out with like 30 minutes at max. So there's plenty of time to plan a bathroom stop, or you get there and it hit you out of nowhere to hold it, like for 30 minutes. Because to me, it's just first of all, you're in that you're at, I like to call an invited, uninvited guest. So you're only there because you have to go inside the house to install the appliance, right? We can't be like the UPS guy and leave it at the doorstep. It needs to be installed. So that's an issue. Um, that's an unspoken thing. Like they're going to be polite. There are people. I raised this question before, and people are like, "Oh, my customers don't mind." Yeah, they're not going to tell you they don't mind. They're not going to be rude, but they do, right? Unless it's like a huge house, right, with like 20 bathrooms. Sometimes they don't care, but you know, doing a number one, like be honest with you, I wouldn't care. Like, I've asked customers, in rare occasions where I was like, drunk a whole bunch of, or I had like an energy drink and it made me go, and I couldn't hold it no more. Or sometimes you go in a cup, like in the truck, right? Sometimes you get that cup in the truck, you go in. Um, but number one's, it's like, okay, not too bad. Okay, that's not a big deal. But like if you're like in a single woman's home, the seats up, you got like drip, I hate to get graphic here, but you got some drip on the rim, you know what I mean? And it's like you left your mark. So which isn't cool as guys anyway. And also if you set the line at no bathroom at all, less likely they are to push the line. So if you say, okay, I don't mind if you go and do number one, but then they'll push the line for number two, So I actually had a guy do a number two at a customer house, which was a complete violation, and I stopped using him, man. Stopped using him for deliveries because he already knew how I felt about that. And the worst part is, how did I find out? The customer called me and said, because she has her own business and she was a long-term customer, so we were kind of cool like that, or she can just call me. Because other people wouldn't have called me. They would have left a bad review. They'd have found something else to leave a bad review about. They wouldn't say about the bathroom. That'd been like, made a straw to rub the camel's back, right? But this guy dropped the deuce at the customer house, and she said, number one, she wasn't comfortable with him, right? But he had to be there, and because he kind of ran his mouth a little bit too, like it's okay to be nice to people, but he's kind of like pushing the line, like there's a conversation you have with a client, and then there's a conversation you have with a friend. They're completely two different conversations, right? And he treated all customers like they were friends and had friend conversations, like almost to the point where, hey, you got a beer in your fridge? Like, you know what I mean? Like inappropriate. So, yeah, just completely like dropped the deuce. And she called me and was like, I want somebody to call because she ran like a maid service, whatever, cleaning service. They had employees. She said, I would want somebody to tell me, so I'm going to tell you. Completely, this guy used my bathroom. And I thought he was just like, okay, I don't mind using the bathroom. And he went to another wing of the house, where the bathroom was. So now she had to walk this guy through her house. And she said he was in there for a minute. And took a deuce. Completely uncool. There's a smell that lingers. There's like, there's so many. I should have to explain it. So anyway, professionalism is the subject. You're just hopping on. And I apologize if we're having a weak signal here. But professionalism is the subject. And little things, man. Little things. Even not speaking at all, to me, can kind of cross the line of unprofessionalism because now the customer is like, can't read you because you're not talking to them. So if you're having a bad day or you're having a after world type of day, I don't want I hate people type of day. If you're having those type of one of those type of days, and you don't want to talk to nobody, you're just trying to do the job. That could rub people the wrong way too. You got to put a game face on, man. Just like cashiers, like of any business, they're having a bad day. They still got to put a game face on and be happy. Fake it to just fake it. Uh, you don't got to be a chatterbox, but just say, hey, little things. Worst case scenario, talk about the machines and maintenance is always a good conversation. Now, that's an opinion too for some people, but you can always say, hey, about like maybe leaving the door open on the washer so air can get in there, or which I'm not a fan of, but that's another subject. You can also do just talk about white vinegar. I've talked about that on my channel. The benefits of white vinegar, how good it does cleaning machines, the magic of it. So yeah, so I mean, you have so much things you can talk about, uh, but for the most part, they kind of leave you alone, especially if you're in the laundry room. Well, give them a good warm up. You're polite, hello. So if you have any other input on this subject, leave it in the description. Um, so that's pretty much a very long-winded explanation of customer service. But this is a live chat, and you are in the car with Reggie. So, oh yeah, if you also notice too, I'm in the family wagon today, the Odyssey, in the family wagon. So yesterday I was in the Enclave. That's my wife's vehicle, and I'm waiting on my Prius. I've got a Prius. So I got four vehicles, two drivers, right? My wife has her own car. I've got three, I guess. uh, this van, which I'm actually selling. I bought my wife the Enclave, and so I got that. I've got my F-150. That's been my best employee ever. My F-150. I've had it since 2012. It's done everything for me. Every hustle and ideal I've had to use that truck to haul things. So now it's got like a little oil leak. I think I blew an oil seal on it or something, so I got to check out and see what's going on. Because now I changed the oil in it, and then I drove it for like 2 days, and then went back, and it was like no oil in it at all, and there was no oil on the driveway, so I don't know where it's going. I think it's probably shooting out as I'm driving with it for now. My Prius, not known as I was doing Turo. If you don't know what Turo is like an Airbnb for cars. So where you can go out and you can rent cars to the general public. And so that poor Prius has been hit twice within a 30-day period. And so I'm taking it off. So now I don't have time for Turo. So now that's going to be my rep car. So as soon as I get the Turo back, the Prius back, you'll see me in that more because it's definitely more fuel efficient. I don't have tints on it, so I need to get the windows tinted so we don't have the glare issue as much. And yeah, so that's why you see me in different vehicles. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this broadcast. I apologize if my signal quality was poor. Kind of the gambles I'm taking with doing a live broadcast on the road. And don't forget to like, subscribe. Look in the description for our sponsors. If you're looking to buy replacement parts for your personal washer, dryer, refrigerator, whatever, electronics, blender, any headphones, electric toothbrush, Encompass has got you covered. Look for the link in the description for that. Also, you can, if you are an appliance servicer, right? If you service appliances, you deserve a wholesale to buy to buy factory parts at wholesale prices. So my email's in the description. Shoot me an email. I'll get you hooked up, get you set up. Uh, basically, the only requirement is to be appliance servicer. That's pretty much it. So If that's who you are, gotcha. We'll get you going, save you some money, and my business will help your business. So, any questions, leave in the description. Other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off because I need to get to work. Y'all get to work too. Get out there and fix something. I'll see you guys.